guys, so welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to film a video that I've been meaning to do for quite a long time, and basically this is some of my favourite top picks for sort of berry lip looks. I'm meaning to film this over the summer because I actually wear a dark lip throughout the year. It doesn't really matter what the sort of season is, but because it's very seasonal coming into autumn, I thought I would finally get around to doing it. So these are basically my top picks of the sort of deep dark purple sort of red tones and sort of berry coloured lip products. Some are lipsticks and others are lip liners, but basically these are my favourite products to use if I want a really nice strong deep dark lip. So if you're looking for a berry lip look, I'll be able to give you maybe a few tricks and tips and also a few recommendations of the products that I've tried and that I really like and that work for me. While I talk about the lipstick or the lip product that I'm using, I will be wearing it just to give you a bit of an idea of what it actually looks like on. And as you can see, I've already swatched them all on my hand, so let's get started. So I thought I would start off with one of my more budget friendly options, and this is from Collection 2000 or Collection, whatever you want to call it, and this is their Gothic Glam in the shade Scorned. So this is a really deep purple shade, as you can see. I have it on at the moment. Now this one is only about $2.99, so the reason I've included it, it isn't necessarily one of my favourites, but the reason I've included it is because it is really budget friendly. This one is $2.99 and it comes in a little packaging like this, which is quite nice. Just sort of regular packaging, nothing too special. So if you're a bit like me a while ago, I wasn't too sure how to wear a dark lip. I wasn't sure if I'd be brave enough to wear one. So this one's a really good one to start off. It wouldn't be the most long lasting option. Colour is really nice. It's a very strong purple. It is more of a shiny glossy finish, which I'm not as keen on. I have a tip later on in the video to show you how to make that a matte finish. It is a nice colour and it is good to sort of get you a bit used to wearing a dark lip if you're not used to it. The one thing I'm not too keen on, this formula is a little bit slippy on your lips, so it's a little bit difficult to get a very precise line with this. When you're trying to fill in your lips, it's quite hard to get a really sharp edge. That could be remedied if you use a lip liner, which will also help to hold it on for a little bit longer. So as I say, it's a decent little lipstick if you want to get used to wearing a dark lip. Next up is a slightly more expensive lipstick, but it's still very budget friendly, and it is from Gosh. And it is number 171, Twilight. This is one of their Velvet Touch lipsticks, one of their original line lipsticks. Again, it's a deep purple, but unlike the Collection lipstick, this one gives a really smooth application. I wouldn't say with one swipe that you're totally opaque, it usually takes about 2 or 3 layers to give you a really nice full-on finish. What I prefer about the Gosh lipstick instead of the Collection one is this one doesn't have any sort of patchiness to it. The Collection one, you sort of have to work with it a little bit. Which I find with most shiny lipsticks you do. Really even application. As the name would suggest, it's more like a velvet finish, so it's not totally matte, but it is quite a nice natural finish. And this is more of a berry purple in comparison to the Collection one, which was more of a brown purple. I just think that the colour is really lovely in this one, and I find that it lasts really well as well. If you prefer a matte finish like I do, Gosh, I've recently brought out a line of matte lipsticks, and I'm pretty sure there's a nice berry colour in that. I'm not sure how dark it is, but I recently did a review on a couple of the shades. If you want to check that out, I have it on my blog. I'm sure I'll leave the link down below. But yes, this is a very nice lipstick, and I think for $6.99 it's definitely worth it. What I really like about this lipstick is the formula is really nice in the sense that you can get a really nice sharp edge on your lips if that's what you're after, especially with dark lips. It's very noticeable if it sort of smudges or if it's not precise, so I really like that about this lipstick as well. I just find that the packaging is really nice and compact, but it's not, the lid isn't going to fall off. I find sometimes with the likes of Collection, the lids tend to fall off and sort of go astray in your bag, so there's none of that with this one, and I would definitely recommend it. So next up is one of 2 of the Revlon lipsticks, and the first one is the Super Lustrous lipstick by Revlon in Vava Violet. And I have it on obviously, and this is a really similar to the other 2, a really nice strong purple shade. So this is one of my original first sort of dark lipsticks. I still really enjoy using it. Again, it's more of a shiny finish, but I find that when it air dries it sort of mattifies down a little bit. And this is one of the very first dark lipsticks that I ever owned, and so it has got a bit of a special place in my heart. A lot of people always say to me that it's quite difficult to find a really dark deep purple lipstick, and that is quite true. This one is in most stores like Superdrug, Boots, places like that. There aren't many dark lipsticks really out there. There's probably more coming in now so this year, but maybe a year ago A lot of people find it very difficult to get a deep dark purple, and this one was a very easy go-to, so I've recommended this to loads of people. It is a really nice finish. You do have to work with it a little bit in the sense that you do have to apply a couple of layers, so whereas the Gosh one sort of 1 or 2 coats, and that's perfectly fine. And you do have to apply a little bit more product. You don't get quite as a precise finish as you do with the Gosh lipstick. This is definitely one that it's fine by itself, but I would definitely recommend using a lip liner underneath it. Give it a little bit more hold and a more opaque finish, and also just to make it last longer and give you a more precise finish to it as well. But definitely if you're looking for a drugstore dark lip, this is a very good go-to from Revlon, and my next product is also from Revlon. On to my second Revlon lipstick, and this is in the shade Black Cherry. Very similar to the last one, except this is more of a sort of winter berry colour. I find that between the two, the Velvet Violet and the Black Cherry, the Black Cherry has a slightly nicer formula. It seems to coat your lips a little bit better than the previous one, and you can get a slightly better finish with it because it's slightly, just ever so slightly more opaque and slightly more pigmented. But this is a really lovely colour, especially for autumn. Some people find that the sort of red berry tones are much easier way into wearing a dark lip, and I actually find with this colour it seems to suit most skin tones and hair colours. So moving on for lipsticks, I have a few other items that I really like to use if I want a berry look lip, and these are lip liners. One of my all-time favourite products is actually also one of my cheapest, and this is from MUA. And this is in the shade Berry Wine. Now the funny thing about this is it's actually an eyeliner, but I bought it specifically for a lip liner and it works so well, and it's just such a lovely shade. The reason I use this, probably one of my favourite, all-time favourite lip products to use, although it isn't a lip product, but we'll just forget about that. One of my all-time favourite products to use on my lips, because it gives me a nice matte finish. With products like lip liners and things, you can get a really nice sharp edge and a really good outline, and apart from that they give you a really nice matte look, which is my favourite. I just find that when I'm wearing a dark lip, a shiny and a dark lip, for me they don't work very well, so a matte look is definitely my go-to. As I said, this is in Berry Wine, and as you can see it's a nice purpley shade. It's not quite as dark as some of the other shades I own. It's definitely my go-to lip product. A good tip with dark lips, if you're just getting into them, especially if you prefer a matte look, what I particularly love to do with this is wear a nude sort of lipstick, or whatever lipstick you're used to using, something that you don't have to be too brave to sort of wear. And what I do with this is I create like an ombre look. Basically means I sort of outline my lips and blend it in, which gives me a really subtle berry look. It just gives your lips more of a dimension to them. It makes them look a little bit fuller, and it's one way of incorporating a more berry look without being too dramatic. Just a way of getting you out of your comfort zone, but in a really sort of easy, accessible way. And I tend to use that most days, whether I'm in work or going out for coffee or anything like that. I just think it's a really nice, handy look. I just think it's the perfect way to try something a little bit different to what you're used to, but while still maintaining quite a natural sort of look. What I also love about this MEA product is that it is only £1, which is fantastic value. It's a really nice creamy formula, and it doesn't shift from your lips though. It goes on really nicely. You get a really good coverage with it as well, and while it's creamy it doesn't seem to smudge, it seems to last really well, and it also comes with a little sharpener in the lid. Another really budget friendly lip liner I found is from Primark. I think I got this in Dublin, so this was €150, which is about £1, and this is in the shade 4, and again I have it on now, and it's very similar to the MEA. Really nice coverage, really creamy, and it gives you a really nice precise line. I find with some lip liners the product can be really stiff and it sort of drags along your lips, whereas these ones that I've shown you are really creamy, so they come out really well, give you really nice coverage, but without you having to drag or really work at them. And again, this one's really nice underneath lipstick, or just by itself it gives you a really nice berry colour. So last but not least is actually my favourite from the whole collection that I have for a dark lip look, and this is from MUA, their Luxe collection, and I think it's called like their Velvet Lacquers or something like that, and I have mine in the shade Cookie. So I think this is about £3 or £4. Well, it's actually my favourite dark lip look. It also happens to be my boyfriend's least favourite. He hates it, he thinks it looks terrible, but again, each their own. Some people I'm sure won't like this, but I just find it is so good. So it's a matte finish, it's probably still a little bit wet at the moment, so it looks a little bit glossy, but it gives you a really good matte finish, really opaque coverage. What I usually do is apply one coat and let it dry for a couple of seconds and then apply another one, and that way you get a really full coverage look. So it's a little dofa, or whatever you call those, applicator, like this. And it just goes on so smoothly and stays on really great throughout the night. The one thing about dark lips is you don't want it smudging off throughout the night, and this definitely doesn't do it. And what I also like about this, unlike some other long-lasting liquid lipsticks, such as the Maybelline or the Max Factor, it doesn't seem to change in formula. And by that I mean that it stays a really nice smooth formula throughout the night. Whereas I find the other ones, like the Max Factor and the Maybelline ones, tend to sort of dry out and flake off, or give you like a weird sort of like rubbery finish. But with this one, I just think it's so much nicer and so much better value. So even if this shade isn't for you, which I'm sure it won't be for a lot of people, the range has quite a good variety of shades too. I actually think they're repackaging them at the moment. So in a few weeks they probably look slightly different to this. They'll still be around the same price, and I'm pretty sure that the formula will be exactly the same. So if you're looking for a long-lasting liquid lipstick, or something that's going to stay on really well, I definitely check out the rest of the range. I know they have a really nice bright red, some nudes, some light pinks, and actually a bright orange in the range too. If that's your type of thing, definitely check out the MEA stand, and I mean, you can't beat it for £4, it's just fantastic. So I have a few tips and tricks from my experience of dark lips anyway, and my best piece of advice is to test it out before you wear it out. And by that I mean, if you're going on a night out, don't try something for the first time on a whim, because you could be sorely disappointed, especially with dark lips. The thing about dark lips is you'll notice if it goes smudgy. There's nothing worse than when a dark lip goes smudgy and ruins all the photographs that you've taken that night, or if it goes all across your teeth. You're definitely going to notice it when it's a really deep dark purple or dark red shade. So just be a bit wary of that. I would try it out the day before you're going to wear it, or even the day that you're going to wear it, just to see how it wears, so that you know if it's reliable in order to wear it that night. And if it doesn't last all night, at least you're aware of that. You know that you're going to have to top it up throughout the night. If you're going to go out and have a few cocktails, do trust yourself to top that dark lipstick up, because let me tell you, there is nothing worse than going out thinking that you're applying your lipstick perfectly and then seeing the photographs the next day. It's not the easiest thing to reapply if you've had a few drinks. So if you've tried out your lipstick and you don't think it's going to last very well, I have a few tips to make it last a bit longer. And these also apply if you want a matte lip. So my first tip is use a lip liner. This way you get the most precise application and it lasts a bit longer. Wearing a lip liner also helps it when it's going to fade. So if you've got a lipstick that fades quite easily and leaves that horrible sort of staining on your lips, I would definitely use a lip liner underneath. It just means that when the lipstick on top starts to fade, underneath you still have a nice base that's going to keep a bit of colour. If you have a shiny lipstick that you really love the colour of, but you don't trust it to stay on, or it has a shiny finish and you want it to look matte, my best top tip is to use a setting powder. I've tried a few, and my favourite is actually from Gosh, and it is the Prime and Set Primer and Mattifying Setting Powder. Now, this isn't the cheapest of products. I think it's probably about £10, so I don't solely use it just to set my lipsticks. If you're big into lipsticks and you want a matte finish all the time, then this might be something to invest in, because it'll save you having to buy new matte lipsticks. You can just use your shiny lipsticks and make them matte with this. Buy the lipstick like normal and just dab a little bit of this on. You could use a really light powder brush and then apply a bit of powder on top of it, and that just mattifies it and also sets it so that it stays a little bit longer as well. And the last thing is, just wear a colour that you like. Doesn't matter if other people aren't too keen on it, but it's about yourself. If you like the colour, then wear it. So I hope you enjoyed having a look at some of the dark lips that I like to wear. Let me know if you've got any recommendations down below. I would love to hear what you like to wear. And as I said, dark lips aren't necessarily for everybody, but I just like to have a bit of fun with it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm sure I'll see you again soon. Bye!